Well, hello there. I guess I could call this my intro or my episode 1 of my suicide diary. I'm not gonna show myself right now because it really doesn't matter. I'm in my 50s. I have a dual citizenship, American and European. I'm presently living in China, and I'm extremely depressed and will eventually, more than likely, kill myself. It's just a question of time. And where to begin? I know some people might think, well, maybe you're in China, you're depressed, you have no friends, you have no one there. Well, that's true. But it doesn't matter where I am. I can go to Europe, I can go to America, and I'm still that depressed. Actually, if anything here, it's easier because I realize I have nothing in common with the people due to the culture and the upbringing. When I'm in Europe or America, it's harder to accept because I should get along with people and I don't. I've had a very interesting life. I've lived in many different countries. I've seen a million things. A lot of people have, but we'll get into that later. And I don't know, I'm running out of hope. It seems like every decision I make, no matter how good the decision is, it goes south. It becomes crappy. I don't know, it's just, sometimes I think it's a curse of some kind. So I don't know, I'll be talking about myself and my problems, and maybe eventually my children can listen to this and try to understand me and forgive me. It's where to begin? I remember being a child in school, and when everybody was writing or reading something and everybody was quiet, I would be looking around, and I always felt like I never belonged. I always felt like, why am I here? I shouldn't be here. It's I've always felt that, and it hasn't gotten any better. Yeah, of course, with time I've met friends and I was able to make jokes and make people laugh and accomplish things and have children, but yet I was never able to, feel that sense of belonging. And I think a lot of people can feel that. Can live without that sense of belonging. I guess the only thing we can't live without is hope. And when I run out of hope, I moved to China 6 months ago. It's not the first time I moved here. And I was thinking, okay, great, I'll get away from COVID. I'll protect my children from COVID. I'll have a better job because now there's no more foreigners over here, so I can get some good jobs. And actually, it didn't work out. Well, actually for the COVID. But even then, now it's spreading, recently. So I don't know, it's one of those things where it just never ends, So that sense of not belonging, I think is, and people are staring at me, of course. The sense of not belonging is very powerful. But like I said, there's so much going on, I don't know. I have young children. One is 8, the other one is 12. So, everybody would tell me, Philippe, you can't kill yourself. You can't. You have children. Hey, you know what? I completely agree, but you're not in my shoes. And that's what I think people can relate to. Anyone who wants to die can understand me. that no matter what, some people, other people tell you can't do this, your parents will be sad, your family will be sad. Yeah, but there's limits. Everybody has a breaking point. It's sometimes it's just overwhelming. I have spent many years extremely unhappy. I mean, that no one can just even go through that kind of suffering without just wanting to kill themselves, only to be around my children. I was in China years ago, so I've done major sacrifices, and sometimes you get to a point where you're going, how much longer do I need? Do I need to suffer all my life? And here there's only so much I can do. The Chinese family controls everything. Oh no, sorry, we decide this, we decide that, we decide this. Okay, so if I can't decide, if I can't tutor my children, all I can do is just talk to them, spend time with them, and in return want to die every second of my life. Am I doing them any good? I don't know. What am I teaching them? And that's the problem I have. I have many problems, that's just one of them. So anyway, that's had to go from there. Had to move on. Had to be happy. What is happiness? And that's another thing is, I see a lot of people here who have nothing. They just like those two guys. They're overweight. They're smoking cigarettes. They don't care what they look like. When I try to work out all the time, which is funny, I'm very suicidal, and yet I work out and I am very vain. It's not a good combination. But then again, I think I've always been a walking contradiction, no matter what I do, no matter what I think. But anyway, I see people like this, and they don't look good. They don't care what they look like. They don't try to be healthy, and they're perfectly happy. So I have a friend who is an airline pilot. He has a dream life. He has the dream life I want. And you know what? Overall, I would say he's miserable. And then I remember in China sometime being on the freeway and stopping at a gas station and seeing some guy who was washing some vegetables out of a plastic container or bucket or something. And he looked perfectly happy. He's never been anywhere. He's probably never even seen movies, or at least Western movies. He's never really done anything. He's never been anywhere. And, and he's more happy than my friend who is an airline pilot. So why? But one thing I came up with is the definition of happiness. I could be wrong on this one. The definition of happiness is, it's the angular difference. Okay, we'll just say the angle difference of what your perception of what your life was going to be and what your life is. So for example, if in his case, this guy's going to stare at me forever. In his case, he thought he was going to be like dating stewardess all day long, and everybody was going to be, so envious that he's an airline pilot. Well, actually, no one really cares. So, and he doesn't get the girls he wants. So basically, he was thinking he was going to have the kind of life like in Catch Me If You Can movie with Leonardo DiCaprio walking in the airport terminal with 5 beautiful stewardesses, hand in hand. And it doesn't work like that. So now, basically, he's unhappy. When yet, I remember seeing people in Europe, farmers, who had taken the farm from their parents and their grandparents. And their parents had no car, had a donkey, and, barely had electricity at home. Now they have electricity, they have an iPhone, they have a car, they go skiing, life is completely different and much better, and they're miserable. And you're going, okay, your parents were not miserable, you have 10 times more, you are. Because for somehow in their mind, when they were young, when they started the business, they thought they were going to make more money, they thought they were going to have a better car, they were going to have a better iPhone, they were going to go to a better ski station. So basically they're disappointed. So I guess maybe unhappiness is the disappointment you get from the perception that you thought you were going to have some kind of lifestyle or some kind of happiness or some kind of whatever social hierarchy that you did not reach. And the wider that angle, the wider you are more unhappy. So if you were young and you thought, hey, I'm probably just going to work in a factory and have nothing in my life, and you end up working at a desk job making good money, you know, even though you're still working in an office and other people might be miserable around you, you'll be happy. You see my point? Does it make any sense? So sometimes it makes me think, why am I so unhappy? Well, I guess I visualized myself, you know, with a wife that was going to make me happy, and we were going to go out. You know, like you see those people in cafes, in bars, or nightclubs, they're together and they're happy and they all look good. And, you know, kind of like a first date kind of thing. And I thought, that's what life is going to be. I'm going to be this happy all the time. And it's going to be fantastic. And then I pretty much got the opposite. And I don't know, you know, many other personal things I won't get into, at least for now. But that's what I think it is. It's just the disappointment that you didn't get what you wanted to get. And it's very hard to adjust. I think you can adjust to a lot of small things, you know, slowly, but still eventually continue to accumulate, and you become more and more miserable. And especially when you get older. So, yeah, unhappiness. People say, oh, I'm unhappy. Plus, I think as a Westerner, we live in a culture where we're looking for a lot of pleasure. We want to laugh often. We want to meet people. We're very social animals, and it's kind of like a drug. We want more and more and more. And it's never enough. And that's why people drink more or do drugs. You're always trying to raise that dopamine or whatever it is. Yeah. But anyway, so this is the base of my little diary I'm going to be starting until, we'll see how long this goes on. In the next week, I'm living in China. I need to go to Europe for a few days, then going to America. Am I going to stay in China? Am I going to come back to China? I don't know. I'm going to stay in the US? I don't know. Am I going to kill myself over there? Maybe. I have so many options, and none of them are good. I've been talking to a couple of the friends I have, and no one can tell me, hey, you should do this. It's like, okay, you want duck shit, you want cat shit, or you want a mix of both. But I mean, and things are changing so quickly between the Ukraine war, between the future civil war in America. America is becoming a more and more of a toxic society when we're bombarded with toxicity on news, on TV, on this, on that. I don't know how other people do it. I think our mind are being overwhelmed with too much information, too much war, too much hateful, too much everything. So yeah, let's just see what happens. Anyway, thank you for listening.